Welcome back to Phillips Hot Rod Garage. Alright, so the last time I worked on the car, I made these little triangle braces to go down into the body. There's still some work to do on those. They've got to be finished up. But before I can finish them, I've got to repair these rain gutters. Somewhere along the way, I realized that something was not right about these rain gutters, so I went and grabbed some I had in storage, and I found out that somebody has cut off my old ones. They were probably rusty or something, and so they just cut them off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I have one for the left and the right side. They are kind of rusty up here. They're just too bad to use as is, so these need more repair work than the ones on the car to be able to use them. And I don't want to buy a new set because they are kind of expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take two sets and make one. I'm going to take the end off these, I'm going to cut them off, and I'm going to graft them into here and weld them in. And I'm going to make a nice solid set of rain gutters out of two sets. Now the set that I have on the car, the top one is kind of rusty. I may have to replace that one. I don't know. It depends on how it looks when I get it sandblasted. But I believe these sides are really solid. They look good. I don't see any areas where it appears like it's going to blow through when I sandblast them. They look good. So let's just go ahead and take two sets and make one good set. That's the goal for this video. So let's just get started. All right. So before I go ahead and start marking and cutting, I want to clean a little bit of rust off these things. They're so rusty, it's going to be hard to see my cut lines, so you just go ahead and clean them up a little bit. All right, so after wire brushing these up, cleaning them up pretty good, and doing some hammering on these to straighten them out, they were a little bent. I realized the driver's side is really solid, but the passenger side has some rust holes that I'm gonna have to deal with. Now the other option is discard this idea, buy a new set, but I just don't feel like paying over $300 for a set of these when I can fix these. So rust holes or not, I'm just gonna continue on with it. I think I can make them look good. So the next thing I have to do is find some bolts, bolt these together so that I can mark them and cut them in the exact same spot. All right, these ought to work. I think a 5/16 will fit right here, and it will. And these holes are going to be 1/4 inch. All right, so let's tighten them up. socket wouldn't fit in there on that one. So that's good enough. All right, let's figure out where to cut them. So I think the best thing to do is just pick a spot. It doesn't really matter. I'll just pick a spot anywhere in here and mark it. All right, so there we go. I got them cut. Now, I got to make some sort of template off these to figure out where the cut line has to be on the car. Sweet. Oh yeah, that'll work. Just got to get it cut. So what do you think the chances are they can get these screws out easily? I'm gonna say I doubt they're coming out very easy, but I'm gonna try it anyway. We're gonna see what happens. Come on, come on. Nope. Hey, it broke my screwdriver. Time for another screwdriver. Nope. I was hoping I could just break it off. It's not very big and it's really rusty, but that's not working, so gotta try something else. I got it. Just what I wanted to happen. Broke it. Now I got one more to get out right here. Got it. All right, it's template time. Gotta make a template. All right, the template's perfect now. So transfer that over to the car. All right, that's a pretty nice line. I can see that. All right, so let's take a look at it. It's actually looking pretty good. That template got me pretty close there. So I got to do a little trimming right here. And I think when I trim that a little bit, I think it'll fit. Let's try that. All right, let's try that now. Well, all right. That right there actually looks pretty good. A little twisted. I need to twist it a little bit. Yeah, it's twisted up. Let me twist it around some. Okay. Well, guys, I'd say that looks pretty good. I think that'll work right there. I think it will. All right, let me go ahead and put the screw in it. All right, now I'm gonna bring you in and give you a closer look. All right, well, that's looking pretty good. The crack's pretty nice here. It's fitting up well. So y'all know what that means, right? That means it's time to do the passenger side. All right, there's one, but I think this one here is going to be stubborn, the bottom one. Well, the bottom one's not going to come out, so Just gonna grind it off with this carbide burr. I'll just grind the head of it off. It'll come right out. I think that'll come off right there. There we go. Well, it's fitting pretty good, but we definitely got to do some grinding on the inside of this piece because it's not quite fitting up like it needs to, so definitely a little grinding to do. All right, let's try that. Well, I say that right there will work. Let me get my screw and put in there. I'm pretty happy with that. And there you go, there's the passenger side. Fits nice. Fits real nice. So, yeah, there's a little rust hole right there I need to fix. A couple little rust holes right there. But you know, those really don't matter. Those are all going to be hidden once the car's put together. But I've just about accomplished what I was trying to get accomplished in this video. That definitely looks really good. All right, so I'm going to try to stick my inner panel in and see how it's going to look. There's 6 holes in this piece, and only 2 out of the 6 line up. Pretty typical with all aftermarket stuff. So I got to do a bunch of reaming on this. Pretty typical. Two out of 6 is not bad for an aftermarket part, huh? Wow, 2 out of 6 holes. Yeah, and the others that don't line up are pretty far off too. It's looking pretty good, guys. All right, let's check it out. It looks pretty good. Remember those rust holes that were in here? They're all hidden. So, do I fix them? I don't know. I might not. We'll just have to see. But that fits up nicely. Works out really good, I think. The driver's side looks good. Looks real good. Now the only thing I really don't care for is how much space this thing takes up in the trunk. I don't see any reason for it to curve in that far. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna cut this off and modify it. I'm gonna take this out, this scoop right here. I'm gonna take that out of it. I don't see any reason to take up that much trunk space with that piece. I don't know why they did that originally. I have no idea. And looking from the inside, you can see it takes up a lot of space. So yeah, I'll probably end up modifying that piece. I think if I come down to maybe like right in here somewhere, maybe right in here, cut it, or just maybe bend that piece down and cut it off. I don't know, it's curved, so I might just replace that with flat metal, cut it across here, and then just drop it straight down. That way this piece is not as wide. Like I say, I don't know why they did that. I don't know. I don't know why they took up that much trunk space with that piece. But anyway, things are coming along. Coming along nicely. I think that project was a success. I believe it was. As you can tell, the car did have a rumble lid on it. Had a rumble seat. It has the handles here. It did have the steps on the car. Had the step on the fender and the step on the bumper for the passengers to get into the rumble seat. So it did have a rumble seat. But the last configuration of the car was a trunk lid. It does have the trunk lid hinges in it, and it was hinged as a trunk when I bought it. So I decided over time that I'm just going to put a trunk on it. I'm not going to go back with a rumble seat. I was going to, but the more I got to thinking about it, the rumble lid, the rumble seat's not really that practical with a Hemi powered hot rod, and I got to have somewhere for the fuel tank to go, and I didn't want to put the 32 tank on the back of the car. I don't really care for the look. I do like that look on a 32. I do like that look on a Model A on some cars, but for the style I'm building, I didn't think I was going to like it. So I need the trunk area for a fuel tank, just like you will conventionally see on a Model A hot rod. I needed the trunk space for that. So going to car shows, I'm not going to be hauling my kids back here in the rumble seat for long distances. So I need somewhere to haul stuff in the back for going to the shows. The only time I would use the rumble seat is if we were doing, say, like a parade, or maybe I was down at the beach and we were cruising the coast with it a little bit. I might put some people in the rumble seat, but the practicality of it is just really not there for me on this particular car. I need the trunk space. I need a place for a fuel tank. So I just decided to put a trunk on this car. So this panel right here is a panel for a trunk, not for a rumble lid. And I'm gonna be taking these off, and I got a new set of trunk hinges to go on it. So I'm pretty happy with the way these rain gutters turned out. I'm not gonna weld anything back here until I get everything fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and get the new trunk hinges put on, get this panel modified, get the striker put in, the latch put into the trunk, get the trunk opening and closing correctly, latching correctly, and everything put together back here before I weld anything. That way if I have to move anything around, I can still shift some stuff around now that nothing is welded in place. So leave me a comment, let me know what you think about the way these rain gutters turned out, the way this piece is fitting. Let me know what you think. How would you have fixed it? This is the way I came up with. I think it turned out pretty good. Leave me a comment. Love to talk to you guys. See you guys in the next one.